Jack Grealish, the £100 million man, from Aston Villa's golden boy to Manchester City's forgotten star, and now reborn at Everton. This is the story of the rise, the fall, and rise again of Jack Grealish. Every footballer dreams of making it at their boyhood club, but for Jack Grealish, he didn't just dream it, he lived it. Born in Birmingham, he joined Aston Villa's youth academy at just 6 years old. He stood out straight away with his dribbling, flair, and of course, the trademark low socks. By 2018-19, he was Aston Villa's heartbeat, driving them back into the Premier League after 3 years away. When Villa won the playoff final against Derby, Grealish lifted the trophy as captain, the boyhood fan who led his club back to the big time. Once back in the Premier League, Grealish carried his side again. In the 2019-20 season, Grealish got 8 goals and 6 assists. In fact, he was the only reason they stayed up on the final day. Then came the 2020-21 season, 6 goals and 10 assists in just 26 matches. He got his England call-up and suddenly Jack Grealish was one of the most talked about players in the league. He wasn't just Aston Villa's captain, he was their identity. And in the summer of 2021, his big moment arrived.
Manchester City and Aston Villa close to agreeing a £100 million deal to sign Jack Grealish.
Manchester City bought him for £100 million, making him the most expensive signing in British football history. It was the peak of his rise, but football always writes its own twists. At Manchester City, everything was different. At Villa, the team was built around him. Every attack went through Jack Grealish. But at Manchester City, he was just another cog in Pep Guardiola's system. A system that demanded control, patience, and discipline. Instead of freedom, there were strict instructions. Instead of flair, there was structure. And suddenly, the spark dimmed. In Grealish's first Premier League season, he managed just 3 goals and 3 assists. For a £100 million signing, those numbers were shocking. Fans mocked him, pundits questioned him, and the media piled on.
His form has absolutely fallen off a cliff. You look at those stats, and they're pretty embarrassing, aren't they, for a £100 million player?
And it didn't get much better. Injuries, rotation, and competition with the likes of Foden, Mahrez, and Bernardo Silva left him on the bench more times than he was on the pitch. Yes, he had moments, like that standout game against Arsenal and his role in City's Champions League run, but they were flashes, not consistency. And when City lifted the Premier League and Champions League trophies, Grealish was there, but as more of a squad player than a superstar. And by the end of last season, the narrative was brutal. £100 million had bought City a passenger, not a leader. But football always gives second chances, and Jack Grealish grabbed his.
With some huge breaking news, and it comes from Everton. Everton fans, you're going to be delighted.
Everton have just confirmed in a statement that they have signed Jack Grealish on a season-long loan.
When he joined Everton on loan, many thought that this was a step down, a sign that his career was already on the decline. But at the Toffees, something's clicked. David Moyes has given him the freedom to run at defenders again, to take risks, to play his game. And as a result of that, he's been electric in his first few matches. Goals, assists, driving runs. Grealish is back.
Lots of people will be happy to see Jack Grealish back fit, back playing, and back to the old Jack Grealish.
The Hill Dickinson Stadium is buzzing, fans are singing his name, and the Jack Grealish of old looks like he's made a return. Pundits are praising him, and England fans are asking questions again. For the first time in years, his career feels alive. So, what's next? Jack Grealish has gone from Villa's golden boy to City's forgotten man, to Everton's revival star. Can he keep this form and find a way back into Pep Guardiola's plans? Or is Everton the start of a brand new chapter? Whatever happens, one thing is certain. Jack Grealish's story isn't finished. In fact, it might just be getting started. So what do you think? Will Jack Grealish reclaim his place at City? Or should he build a new legacy at Everton? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. That is where I'm going to end today's podcast, but there are plenty of others that you can go and listen to. For more content, be sure to check out my website, that's inmrfootball.co.uk. On there you can find match reports, live blogs, club updates and so much more. And if that's not enough, INMR is also on X and Instagram, so you can follow me on both of those platforms for even more daily football content. Thank you very much for listening, and I will see you in the next one.